Hello and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And of course this is your video technology show that demystifies technology and computers and wireless stuff. And anyway, and today we're going to demystify some more technology.
Yes.
Printers, as it turns out.
I hope that's what we're doing since this is here.
That's right, otherwise we'll be printing up letters from your mom.
Or breaking our back hauling this out of here over the break.
Yeah, no, we have people for that.
Oh, good.
Now we have people, right? Here we're at the Butterscotch Network these days. And oh yeah, so today we're going to talk about network printing. What exactly is a network printer? And why would you? I know he knows the answer, and we're going to tell you the answer. Why would you use it? What's the point? And what is a network? And what's a printer, really?
And how do you do it?
And how do you do it? Absolutely. As always.
That's the important part.
Super useful step-by-step information from Lab Rats. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to teach you all about network printing and what's the point. Now, I have to apologize because off the top, we talk about network printing, but I recognize some people may not know what a network is. You know, they probably know what a printer is, right?
Yes.
So let's demystify the term first of all. A network printer is what?
Well, network printer is a printer that lives on your network. And a network is basically a way to connect all of your computers, devices, and now your printers together so that they don't actually have to be connected directly to each other. Right. So we've talked in previous episodes about networks, and this is a router, a wireless network router. It's got ports on the back for connecting directly to it, and also has wireless, so you can actually connect to it over the air.
Right. So it's like a device where multiple computers can come into it and they share data, share resources, share the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and they can all do that without anything special needing to be done to them, like in the past.
Okay, good. So the idea of a network printer is to connect the printer to your router so it can be available to all of the computers in the household.
Right. Now in the past, when you had printers, and a lot of people have printers right now that connect directly to one printer or one computer. Yeah. And they connect via USB or parallel in the old days, a big thick cable that was really, really hard to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, that's good for the computer that it's connected to.
Right, but you can't do it. Any other computer can't. You have to share, and there's all kinds of weird stuff you have to do, right?
Yeah. So people may be asking, well, you know, why don't we just share it? We're using the Windows sharing utility, and it's because it's a pain in the butt. It doesn't work reliably, and for that to work, the computer that it's connected to always has to be on for the other computers in the home network to be able to print to that, and that's not ideal. Right. So by turning these things into network printers, what you're doing is you're basically saying, okay, I'm connecting it directly to the network. Any other computer can get to this at any point without the main computer that it's connected to having to be on. I can just fire my computer up and start printing to it at any point.
And the great thing is you can be, especially if you have a wireless laptop, you can be anywhere in the house, hit print, and it's going to print off of this printer down to the basement or upstairs in the office or wherever the printer happens to be located.
It can be anywhere.
It can be anywhere. So it's like anywhere printing and a sharing resource. So.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you need for a network printing. I guess number one, you need a network printer.
You need a network printer, and now there's two ways you can connect a printer to the network. One of them is wired, and one of them is wireless. Mm-hmm. Now the wired ones are sort of legacy from businesses. Now they needed to do this because sharing or putting a printer on every single desktop, not really cost effective. Right. So what they did was they actually created printers with a network port in the back that they could connect in the central location and everyone could print, like you mentioned earlier. Yeah. And we're actually going to show that off right here. I stole Matt's close-up camera. Sorry, Matt.
Give it back!
You'll get it in a second. So we're going to look at the back of this one right here.
Right. And so this is the network cable here.
That's the network cable.
So if I pinch it and pull it out, as you can see, it's sort of like an oversized North American phone jack. It's bigger than that. And then this is the port right here. Mm-hmm. Below it, of course, is your USB connector just for standard desktop connectivity.
Right, so you can still connect it to a computer in the old school way. Right.
So all you want to do is plug that into here. The light's going to come on. Yep. And of course, the other end of this is going to be plugged into your network.
Somewhere over here.
Router.
Into
over there.
Yeah, so it's set to the wrong focus point, but you get the idea. Right. So I'm going to hand this back so we can reintegrate this into our workflow here. Right. The other way you can do this is with a wireless printer. Now some of them come with built-in Wi-Fi, so 802.11g, 11n, so that will actually allow you to connect this to this over the air, just like you can with a notebook.
Right, which is great because you can then put the printer anywhere.
Right.
And the computers anywhere, for the most part, if they're wireless. Good. Now, I want to mention one thing is, you may think, whoa, network printers, that'd be a great idea. You know what? You might already have one. So go looking for this Ethernet port, see if you got one, because you may be ready to go. The other thing, of course, is that your printer may have a wireless functionality as well. Many of the newer ones do these days. HP, Lexmark, those guys all make the versions. So some people may already have network capability already.
Check it out.
Spend another dime.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, let's show how to configure this, because I think that's probably the most important part of it, step by step. I have Windows Vista here, and I'm gonna walk you through how to install it on a Windows machine. Now, I'll tell you this much, a little secret. We kind of tried to do this earlier. We did an earlier take, and Vista kind of kicked us in the bum. You might see it on the blooper, but one of the important things we learned in that lesson is that instead of going and getting a driver from the disk, there's actually often network utilities you can get from your printer creator that will run. And I've actually downloaded from hp.com here. I went to support and drivers, and what I did was I typed in the model number here, CP1515. And what you'll see is when you do that, you choose your operating system, and it'll give you a list. Now I grabbed this one here. It's the HP Color LaserJet PostScript Network Express install. So I installed that, and I'm going to run it here. So if I go to my downloads, there it is, and double click on it. Now you could use Windows Vista to do this, but it's actually a bit cumbersome and sometimes breaks, as we discovered. But to use a network printer installation utility that comes with the printer, maybe on a disk, maybe from the website of the computer manufacturer.
Yeah, in general, when you get a printer, it'll come with drivers, disks, and if it's a network printer, it'll come with the network install utility on board. If you don't have it for whatever reason, which we didn't in this one, I'm not sure why, but if the disk is missing or you bought a refurb that doesn't have the disk included, for whatever reason, you can, as you say, download it specifically. Right. And it might not be a bad idea to do that anyhow, because you'll get the latest version of the drivers.
Absolutely, yeah, you get all the bugs worked out of it. So this is going through a series of steps. It checks the system, prepares the install. It's installing now, and I've got a screen that says identify the printer. Now it says choose a method for searching for the printer, because it's going to go out on the network and actually search to see if the printer is there and can be detected. So I'm just going to say select from a list of detected printers recommended. You could ultimately specify a printer by address and type the IP address if you knew that, and in fact maybe you'll show us a little later on how to do that. But I'm going to click next here and get that going, and it will then go out to the network, search the local network, and look for this particular printer. These utilities are pretty good. In fact, there you go. It's discovered a network printer. It's the HP Color LaserJet. I'm going to select that. I'm going to click next. And this is now going to install the drivers and configure it all. So it'll be available for printing in my network control panel.
Yeah, and you ran the HP program earlier, so it knows where the drivers are. It's all ready to go.
It's all ready to go, yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. if you do this without installing the drivers, first place, you're going to be in for a world of hurt.
Yes.
Potentially.
Okay. Now on the Mac, I bet you it's super easy.
Well, the Mac it can be very super easy.
Have you installed it yet? Have you installed it yet?
I haven't installed it yet.
Installed yet?
But we're going to do one thing here. So you mentioned we can find out the IP address, and what we're going to do is we're just going to shade this from the glare here. We've got a window here that tells us what's going on with this particular printer. It is diagnostics. It tells us how much ink is left and all that stuff. So we're going to say, oh, it says it's printing a document. And I'm not sure what document is printing, but let's click cancel. Cancel print. Okay. There we go. There's the IP address. It is configured to show that. If you don't want to, if it doesn't show it automatically, then you can just go into the menu system here, look for the place where it will print out a report. In this case, it's already at reports. So we're going to click through the options here until we get to network report. We're going to press that.
Now most printers don't have this utility, or if they do, it's very deep inside the menu. So you're going to have to kind of dig around a bit and do a little bit of legwork to find this thing.
Yeah, and I mean in some cases, look through your user manual. Some cases it's as simple as finding two buttons on the front of the printer and pressing them at the same time, and then it'll print a configuration page. Now we printed this out a little bit earlier. It's going to print another one for us, but it tells us that this printer is currently at. Let's see, this was actually not too long, so yes, at the same one. So it's at 192.168.10.208. That's the address where this printer can be reached on our home network here.
Yep.
So to add it on the Mac, we're going to go over to the Apple menu here. We're going to click on System Preferences. We're going to click on Print and Fax. And now we see we've got two printers previously installed that we're already using. We're going to add this one by clicking on the plus sign.
Yep.
Now we've got a few things along the top here. We've got default fax, IP, Windows, Bluetooth, depending on how you're connecting this. Since this is a network printer, we're going to click on IP. And we have a couple different protocols, and this one right here, these are ones that are built in. There's a generic internet printing protocol, a generic line printer daemon, and a generic HP JetDirect. This is an HP, so we're going to actually choose HP JetDirect socket. So it say address. So that's the number we just got, 192.168.10.208.
This doesn't sound that easy.
I
think this is kind of hard.
Yeah, but it's now done.
Well, I am too. It took some work, but I'm done. Okay, we're going to print some pictures for picture time. I'm ready to go here, and when we come back, it will be picture time, and you'll be so excited. But in the meantime, let's get printing. Click. Well, before we get to whose picture printed fastest from which machine, I do need to tell you about the fantastic Butterscotch T-shirts that we have to give away to our fabulous audiences, and you can win one of these gorgeous yellow garments by sending in an email to us at
feedback@labrats.tv. Is that goldenrod or?
It is goldenrod, yeah. It's actually it's good for my complexion. I'm an autumn, by the way. Anyway, so in order to win one of these T-shirts, all you got to do is you send us an email to that address and tell us which Butterscotch show you like the best. Now,
Not Lab Rats.
not Lab Rats, because we know you like it because you're watching it. Go to butterscotch.com. There's zillions of tutorials and shows, and just tell us which show you like and which episode you want us to show, and we're going to show it on the show. And if we mention your name, give you a T-shirt. So, to that end, a gentleman by the name of Joel Brunette from Winnipeg, Manitoba said, I really like the Mr. Mobile show. Of course, that's Jay Goldman's show about mobile smartphones and that sort of thing. He says, I find it quite interesting, and all the mobile gadgets he shows us are awesome. I also like the reviews he shows us on the new gadgets. So there you go. So let's take a look at some of Jay's work, and when we come back, it's picture time. That's after this.
Welcome on deck. I'm Matt Harris.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman.
Welcome to the A-List.
Hi, welcome to Miss Download.
You can use the official Twitter website on your phone. That's twitter.com, and it'll work perfectly in Safari. But there's no real fun in that, and in fact, there are a whole bunch of third-party Twitter clients that are available in the App Store that'll make twittering from your phone a lot more fun and a lot more useful, particularly because they allow you to do things like take pictures in the camera or use the GPS to locate yourself when you're sending out your tweets.
So I wonder which print came out of the printer first. The one from the Windows machine or the one from the Mac machine?
Which one is lower on the pile? Oh, looks like that's the one that you printed, isn't it? That was on top,
Yes.
unfortunately. All right, so, well, these are our picture time pictures that we printed, so let's get on to that portion of the show.
Okay.
So who do we have here?
This is sent in by Colton, and he's from Canada, and we didn't tell us where. And this is his desktop, which is, what is this?
It's a Mac.
It's a Mac.
It's a Mac.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Very nice. Nice speakers, by the way, too.
Yeah, those are pretty cool speakers.
So you go. So, we ask you guys to send in pictures of you and your desktop and stuff you want to show off, and your mom and your cat and your rats and stuff like that. So this is Colton's desktop.
There we go.
Very fun. And he gets a,
He gets a sticker book,
sticker book.
which is this little thing right here, which has a whole pile of different stickers from the other Butterscotch shows, like Mr. Mobile and the Noob and Miss Download and the A-List and all that stuff. And on deck.
There you go.
That's Matt's show.
That's Matt's
Here you go, Matt. More stickers for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
All right.
right.
So I've got one as well.
Yeah.
And this is from Justin in Liverpool, New York. And he's holding up
A bag of cereal?
a bag of cereal complete with the milk.
Okay.
I guess this is one way to take your breakfast to school or something.
Breakfast on the go.
Breakfast on the go. I don't want to know how to get it out of the bag in a safe fashion, but I don't know, maybe a big straw or something like that.
That's hilarious.
So anyways, thank you, Justin, for sending that. You also get a sticker book.
Yay. Okay, well, you can't.
Do you
too
like how
can
I
win-
made him hold up the Mac desktop?
You're mean. You too can win a sticker book just by simply sending your pictures to.
Isn't it funny when Andy holds up the thing that he hates most at labrats.tv?
Or more simply,
Feedback@labrats.tv.
so send them in. Make sure your pictures aren't too big. Don't send 10 megabyte files, please.
Yeah, they've got to be able to fit on one of these sheets.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching this week. Don't forget to visit butterscotch.com for our show notes and all the other fantastic shows on the network. And that's it. My name is Andy Walker.
Sean Carruthers.
We'll see you next time.
Are you ready?
All right, guys, coming back from break in 5, 4, 3.
All right, well, yeah. Sorry.